Today, we are starting with the precise work of the Phoenix unit. Over the past day, several groups of 1 to 3 people have been destroyed. Both kamikaze drones and bombers were used, and you can also see why the Ukrainian military is targeting supposedly abandoned and destroyed buildings, because Russian soldiers are hiding there. Several mobile groups on motorcycles and ATVs transporting supplies were also destroyed. All vehicles were completely destroyed. 5 trucks carrying strategic supplies were also destroyed, but on a larger scale, and 2 of the 5 trucks were carrying large caliber guns, with the result that everything was destroyed. The drones did not spare armored vehicles either, so we can see how 1 armored personnel carrier and 2 tanks were destroyed just now. The frame shifts to a small group of people who did not quite make it to their shelter and were forced to lie down in the middle of the field, hoping that the drone would fly past them. But they were not very lucky, because one of them did not manage to hide his knee, which greatly disturbed the drone operator. While searching the area, they found the same shelter that the couple had been running so diligently towards. However, it was not the shelter itself that caught their attention, but the large caliber weapon that became their priority target. So after the strike, everyone who was there ran away, some on motorcycles, some on foot, but neither helped, and the next batch of strike drones waited from above for the right moment for a surprise attack, although after the attack on the shelter, I think the strike was already expected. Even those who tried to hide in the ruined buildings did not survive, because the drones were powerful enough to destroy the ruins in which the Russian soldiers saw salvation. Exclusive footage from the Azov unit. In these frames, we observe the precise use of unmanned aerial vehicles against heavily armored combat vehicles. The primary targets are fast-moving tracked armored personnel carriers, commonly referred to as APCs, as well as slower but more heavily protected tanks. One by one, the drones strike their objectives with accuracy. Some vehicles lose mobility almost instantly, while others continue to move erratically before grinding to a halt. In several cases, we see machines spinning uncontrollably in the open field, either as a result of mechanical destruction or possibly due to the crew inside being incapacitated. The battlefield is wide and exposed. Despite attempts at concealment, the enemy has placed only thin layers of camouflage netting and fabric on top of their vehicles. Against the background of empty fields, these weak attempts at disguise fail completely. The armored machines are clearly visible from above, making them easy targets for aerial reconnaissance and strikes. Each successive impact highlights the effectiveness of modern drone warfare, where relatively small and inexpensive devices are able to neutralize equipment worth millions. The footage provides a clear illustration of how the balance of power on the ground is shifting. Traditional heavy armor, once seen as the dominant force on the battlefield, now faces constant threat from above. With each strike, the role of technology, precision, and adaptability in modern conflict becomes more evident. What we are witnessing is not only destruction of machines, but also the transformation of warfare itself. Every passing minute of recording underlines the new reality. Mobility and firepower are no longer enough to guarantee survival. Observation from the sky, rapid reaction, and constant innovation decide the outcome. The images captured here are more than isolated moments of combat. They are fragments of a larger story, one that reflects how future conflicts will be fought and how the tools of war continue to evolve. A recently established drone corps, known by the name Smiley, continues to deliver deadly smiles to Russian occupiers through precise aerial strikes. These are not ordinary soldiers. They are highly skilled operators, combining technical mastery with determination. Their work is both destructive to the enemy and inspiring to the people they defend. Across Ukraine, their reputation is growing quickly. The accuracy of their operations has captured the attention of civilians, and even local musicians have dedicated songs in their honor. These musical tributes are more than entertainment. They are messages of gratitude and encouragement, reminding the unit to remain strong, to stay alert, and to never lose momentum. With each successful strike, the name Smiley gains a new meaning. For Russian forces, it will no longer be associated with a harmless emoji in a messaging app. Instead, it will become a source of anxiety and fear, a symbol of silent observation from the sky, followed by sudden destruction. What began as a playful title now carries weight, marking the rise of a new force on the battlefield. One soldier in the field is not a warrior, thought the Russian soldier, and took his comrade with him. Together, on a motorcycle, they rode across a clear field along a well-worn dirt road. Nothing foreshadowed trouble except for the good weather, because on such a day, the chance of encountering a drone is particularly high. And so it happened. The drone spotted the two soldiers on the motorcycle and began a pursuit that ended predictably. The motorcycle with two passengers was destroyed. The last fragment for today will be the work of the BBP on Russian logistics. Russian soldiers move in small groups, so destroying their staging areas is one of their main goals. Coupled with this is cutting off their logistics. The attack is stifled, and the enemy is destroyed by a maneuverable drone that is forced to circle around the vehicle in search of an opportunity to strike through the return fire. But it finally finds it when the shooter's attention wavers. Next are a few more shots of the Guard's successful work. Thank you for watching.